So I'm going to bring back my sweep, okay? And now that I have this animated, say I wanted to color it, okay? So I have this drawn screen, I want to color it, okay? So I go over here to the material manager that's right underneath the timeline, double click, okay? I have my material, you can see it here, you can see it here, okay? I'm going to pop it up. I like to double click here and pop it up so that I can see it in the bigger window. Now, again, anytime you see those lights, you can animate it. So I'm going to have a little fun with this. So as a refresher, that's how you make a material. This is how you would change the color. You go to the color channel and you would go and say I want it to be like a neon yellow. Okay, I would go to yellow. Okay, and how much yellow I would decide with the shade and value. So I'm going to pick like a pretty bright yellow here. Okay. And now say I wanted to keyframe this and I wanted it to change color over time. That's something that you could do as well. So you can see here, you could either keyframe the channel itself or you could keyframe within the channel. So you'll see all of these ones have like all of those little lights. That means all of this stuff is animatable. Okay, so even if you go to glow, you got stuff there. If you go to bump, you do not have here. So it's not like every one of them, but like the color, there's a lot of options. Luminance there is, transparency there's a ton, reflectance there's so much in here. So same way that you can keyframe any of the parametric options that you saw in previous objects, now that we're in the material manager, we have similar options in here for what we could want to animate. Okay, so say at 0, I want this to start and I want it to be yellow. Okay, so I'm going to keyframe the swatch here for the color channel. So I'm going to go up here and click this. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here and it ends at 60. So I'm going to say at 60, maybe now I want it to be a different color. Maybe I want it to be magenta. Okay, so now I changed the color. I have to make sure, again, see how that keyframe turned orange? That means I made a change. I have to record the change though, so I have to click on it and make it red. Okay, and now if I hit play, it starts out yellow. Okay, you can't tell down here though because I didn't actually add it to the shape. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to take that material now that I keyframed it, and usually you'll probably do this the other way around, but I'm going to take the material and drop it onto my sweep. Okay, and you can see here it starts out yellow, and as it goes, you can see there it is animating, getting more and more pink as it goes. Really cool. So I can start out with one color and then I can animate it as I go from there. Okay, so something that is going to, I think, give you guys a lot to think about and a lot of, hopefully, a lot of fun over the rest of the semester is how you could be animating a lot of the options that we have in Cinema 4D. Okay, so you could be animating the modeling objects and you could be animating the texture. You'll see in a little while you can animate cameras and those kind of things. So there's so much. You can animate your lights. So you're going to have sort of limitless options here for what you can decide to do. Okay, so again, if I go back to my material so that you can see at 0, okay, at frame 0, it is yellow. At frame 60, it is pink. Okay, and I'm doing it by controlling this little red keyframe icon over here. Okay, so I made sure that at 0 for the yellow, I clicked it, and then at 60, I changed it, it turned orange, and I had to click it again to make it red so that way it was recorded. Okay, and then you can see that Cinema 4D is going to go in there and it's going to fill in the in-betweens to get it from yellow to magenta. So you see that it changes to orange along the way, it gets a little more peachy there, and then it gets pink, and then it gets brighter and brighter as it gets to magenta. Okay, and again, anywhere that you see those little gray circles, those are things that you can then keyframe. Okay, so even if I came in here and I turned off default specular and I added a Beckman, okay, now I have all of these options in here for how I would want to change it. These sliders should keyframe, and you should see them changing over time, which is nice. Down here, the Fernal, you can keyframe that, but again, it's a drop-down menu. So just keep in mind that if you do keyframe this, you're going to keyframe it turning on and off. So it's going to be switching between them instead of transitioning. Okay, but I want to just put a little bit of a shiny texture. So I'm going to put like jade. Okay, and we'll leave it like that. Okay, but I'm not going to keyframe it. I just wanted to remind you that that was there. Okay, so now if I hit play, that's the current state of my my animation. Okay, so I was able to take a helix and an end side, put it into a sweep. I was able to keyframe the end growth of the sweep to make it draw on screen. Okay, and then I was able to add a material to that sweep, and I was able to keyframe the color of the color channel to change over time. And this is now 2 seconds of animation.